promised to me 3,000 years ago, my God.
Yeah.
You know, Ilan Pape says that 90% of Zionists don't believe in God, but they all believe that God gave them the Holy Land.
Yeah. He's a historian, Ilan Pape. Benny Morris is another one. Benny Morris was actually defending the ethnic cleansing that happened during Nakba.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate.
Yeah. Are you Christian? Are you Jewish? Are you Muslim, Ahmed?
How about you guess?
I don't know. Are you Muslim? I mean, Iranian majority are not Muslims.
Yeah, but look at, I don't know, maybe you can guess from my last name.
What is it? Najatem? I don't know, bro. I don't know.
He's Christian. I think he's Armenian.
You're Christian?
No, I'm Jewish.
Are you Jewish?
What?
Wow. I didn't know. So you're Persian Jew.
Yes.
So they call you Mizrahi, right? Or Sephardic?
Actually, Mizrahi really means from the east, right? In Hebrew means from the east.
Yeah, from the east, yeah.
And, you know, these ethnic groups of Jews, like Ashkenazi and Sephardic, those were the really old, like Ashkenazi is a term that was used way before the creation of the state of Israel, but and Sephardim refers to the Jews who were expelled from Spain, but Mizrahi was kind of coined after the state of Israel and was used to, what is it called, organize Jews into another subcategory, which was like Jews of the Arab world. Persian Jews typically don't call themselves Mizrahi, although you will find a lot of Persian Jews who have the last name Mizrahi, but they would just call like, no, I'm a Persian Jew. I'm not Mizrahi. I'm not Sephardic, because Sephardic means Jews who were expelled from Spain, but Persian Jews are Jews who were expelled from Babylon and then stayed in the Persian Empire after Cyrus the Great.
So, Ahmed, are you anti-Zionist?
I mean, I really would take a wild guess. I mean, if I was,
I'm asking you.
You would have cursed me out by now a million times.
No, I think you know our talking points, right, for the Zionists.
Well, I don't think he's trying to be
Look, I respect the anti-Zionist Jews, but the ones that are committing atrocities on that land, they're Zionist terrorist Jews, bro. They're killing babies and whatnot. The idea is full of it. You know, I don't have a problem with the Judaism, right? I respect the religion, just like it says in my scripture, lakum dinakum waliyadin. What that means, you got your belief, I got my belief, right? And I don't have a problem with Judaism, but I like to call it spade a spade. I got tired of calling people Zionists because then people were confused. What type of Zionists are these? Are these Zionists Christians, Muslims, terrorists, or Jews? What type of Zionists are committing crimes on the land? So I've switched up. And after this so-called war with Lebanon and Iran or whatever, I start saying this because I have to call a spade a spade. These are Zionist terrorist Jews that are serving in the idea that are committing atrocities, you know, against people.
Yeah, that's I agree, but I mean, I really just, I'll be really honest. I'm kind of I'm kind of done with using the word terrorist, because it's just been overused by so many people on the right that they call anybody a terrorist. That's anybody who does silent resistance a terrorist or whatever. And so I'm like, you know what? Terrorists are subjective. So you want to just say committing violence? Yeah.
I got you, but look, I appreciate. I think you're anti-Zionist Jew. I really appreciate it. It's in my minority.
I will tell you this. Look, I'll tell you this. Zionism, people who identify as Zionists, it's because they have an identity crisis. I think in the Jewish community, the overwhelming identity is to be a Zionist, because they never really were taught any other identity other than to be like, because you were a Jew and you were expelled from everywhere else in the world, the only place you have is the state of Israel. Therefore, your loyalty is to the state and nowhere else. And by default, you must be a Zionist. So it has taken the monopoly on what it means to be a Jew. So even if somebody wants to, especially if you're a Jew from the Arab world, it's like, there's no such thing as a Jew from the Arab. It's a fiction. It's a made up name. right? And so they just say like, oh, I'm a Jew. They never considered me Arab. So, but that just that ignores like how people identify themselves. If your mother tongue is Arabic, you lived in an Arabic-speaking country, or you lived in a Persian, like Iran, your mother tongue is Farsi, or your mother tongue is Persian, then you're a Persian Jew, or you're an Arab Jew, or you're a Russian Jew. Nobody argues against somebody being a Russian Jew or a Persian Jew. So if you say you're an Arab Jew, they say like, oh, well, that doesn't make sense. You can't be it. It's a contradiction. It's like trying to be left and right at the same time.
Well, does it really matter? If you're a Jew, it doesn't matter where you're born. We had a lot of Jews in Iraq back in the day.
I know, but
yeah.
I think, for the Zionists, it doesn't matter where you're born. A Jew is a Jew. But I mean, okay, well, I think it's important because Jewish identity is shaped by all of these different cultures. A Jew from Iraq is very different from a Jew from Germany.
How do you define identity?
Well, that depends on who you ask. I define identity through
I'm asking you.
language, and I identify identity through language and cultural upbringing. So I personally, as a Persian Jew, I feel I have much more in common with anybody who's Persian, even if they're not a Jew, because I have very little in common with other Jews who aren't of Persian origin, and other than the fact that we have the same religion, and even me, I'm not even that religious. So how much in common do I have with somebody who's a Jew from Germany? Unless maybe we get along, we had like the same music, but just culturally, linguistically, I don't have much in common with them.
Ahmed, I have a question for you. So the question is, I'm sure you have spoken to Zionist Jews, right? How do you engage with them? I mean, you have Jewish background. Do they call you like a self-hating Jew?
Listen, I live under censorship, extreme censorship. It's absolutely suicide for me to even open my mouth. So
Do you live in Iraq?
No, they live in America.
Live in the U.S. If I lived in Iran, I could be openly anti-Zionist and not care from it. But I just feel like in the community, in my family, it's just not worth it. If I'm engaging with people who I'm not related to, who are in a different space, where I can express, then I choose to engage with them. Otherwise, engaging with other people, it's just a lost cause. I know it's gonna go nowhere, and it's just gonna cost me my relationships.
So you just have a very hardcore social bubble.
Unfortunately, and unfortunately, many other anti-Zionist Jews are like that. But with the whole point that I wanted to say, my whole reasoning for being anti-Zionist is not obviously, of course, the human rights abuses that happen under the name of Zionism. It's inexcusable, and it's objective evil, right? It's a cruelty that I cannot support, and I'm actively against. But part of one of my biggest problems with Zionism, before even you talk about the human rights violations that it commits, it's the identity aspect. It basically says you are a Jew only, first and only, and therefore any other identity is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. You are a Jew, and therefore you must only identify as a Jew and with the state of Israel, and your whole identity is based on the fact that you were kicked out many countries for many thousands of years and were discriminated against, and now that discrimination is your identity. The fact that you were discriminated against by everyone, now you have to internalize that and make it part of your identity, which is why so many other Jews who grew up with this mentality, they feel that the whole world is against them. I mean, okay, yeah, there was anti-Semitism in the world for hundreds and thousands of years, but that we're living in the modern world, and you can't move forward as a society if you think the whole world just wants to kill you because you're Jewish. And I learned, just by making friends outside of my community and giving people the benefit of the doubt that, yeah, no, the whole world doesn't just hate you just for being Jewish. They just care about if you're a good person.
Yeah, that's true. And I actually was doing business with people in Los Angeles, prior to this 7th of October, but after that,
Listen, I made friends with Arabs from like Khalij, from the Gulf, and these are people in LA. And I'm not gonna deny that I had these biases, as a kid. That anybody who's speaking Arabic or who looks Arab, like, oh my God, I should be scared or I should be worried. But I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not kidding. Like I was actually like, oh my God, I didn't know, because when you grow up in a bubble and you're told to be scared of a certain type of people, you don't know any better. And then, but through my experiences, is that I started talking to them. I just always gave the benefit of the doubt. Okay, let's see if they're really violent. Let's see if they're really hateful, right? And all I did was just be friendly. And I just feel like a rule of life is, if you're respectful, people will be respectful in return to you.
I mean, you're a Persian and a Jew, and you're making friends with people from the Gulf? That's crazy.
I mean, no, I wasn't. It just happened by accident. Yeah, that's like double enemy. Oh my God, that's funny. No, but I'm not kidding. Like, even when I first went to college, for the first time I saw, up close, like women wearing hijab, and I went to college here in LA, and even looking at that would give me like would have some sort of fear inside me, right? And then it just took me a while to get used and adapt to talking to people of different religious backgrounds, like specifically from a Muslim background, and not feel threatened by it. It did take me time.
It's probably because when you were a kid, you learned that from since you were a kid. So yeah, it grows with you.
But that's the thing with Persian, with Persian Jews. There's something that they don't really talk about. There's like the parents of these children. They experience some discrimination in Iran, right? Even at the time of the Shah. Give me one. So what I was saying, yeah, a lot of these parents of Iranian Jews, they experience some discrimination. Some of them more than others, and that discrimination, it stays with you, and then they pass it down to the children. Now the difference is that those parents who grew up in Iran, they know the difference between just a regular Iranian who comes from a Muslim background but doesn't give a fuck, and somebody who's a devout Shia who does hold some anti-Semitic beliefs. But the problem is, when you teach this to your children, and the only thing you teach them is like, oh, I was discriminated because I was a Jew and they were a Muslim, then the children, the only thing they know, the only thing that they learn is not nuance, that there's a difference. They in their mind, they categorize like, oh, so it's like all Iranians, it's like all Muslims who are like this. This is what goes into the subconscious of a child.
Well, yeah, but it's not just that. It's your social bubble. You never got to socialize with different people from different backgrounds, so all different families, which really engraved it in you.
Yeah.
Wait, Owen, have you ever lived in Iran?
I've been to Iran, but I haven't lived there.
Oh.
Bro, when I was a kid, I had like this Sega. It had a football game. I used to pick Israel because the flag was blue and I liked blue.
Owen, where from Iran are you originally from?
Tehran.
Oh, Tehran.
But I think on my dad's side from Kashan. A lot of Jews in Iran, they came from Kashan.
Actually,
I think during the revolution, some of the Jews were kicked out of Iran. I think there's a pretty big number.
So in the revolution, there was a Jewish businessman who was executed. His name was Habib El-Qanian, and he was a big Jewish, he's a millionaire, philanthropist. He built the Palasco building, which burned down in 2017. And ever since his execution, so many Jews disappeared for their lives, so they just left. But today, as you know, like a couple thousand, 10,000 to 20,000 Jews have stayed in the country, albeit under restrictions, but also not living under the Nazi dictatorship.
Right. No, I think the Jews actually thrived under the Muslim kingship, right?
I mean, yeah, of course, compared to
Christian and
medieval.
Yeah. But the thing is, this is one of the talking points that they bring up. Like if you talk to the Zionist Jews from Israel, they bring up this point. It was a dhimmi system. It was this. It was. If you look into it, actually, that dhimmi system, it wasn't all good, but it was really good in a sense where it provided protection.
Listen, it was a discriminatory system, but it was it was a second-class citizen system, but it wasn't like a straight up, what's the word?
But you didn't have to serve in the military, and they provided protection. If they could not provide protection, they'll refund you the money. You see what I'm saying?
So again, the dhimmi system, it basically meant you're a second-class citizen, but it also didn't mean like you were gonna get killed and what's the word? Like you could still live a life and not be scared for your life, but you were still a second-class citizen. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, but even right now, though, I'll give you some examples. So right now, they have this, what you call it? They actually, I lived in Saudi Arabia. I'm a Muslim, okay? And me as a Muslim, they put me under kafala system. Me, my family, my dad, and everybody, right? Now, the kafala system discriminates. It's like you get treated as a second or third class citizen. There's a lot of things you can't do when you're on the kafala system, okay? So I can make the same argument. Coming from a Muslim background, I still get treated as second or third class citizen, you know what I'm saying, in those countries, in the GCC countries, when they put you in the kafala system. So, I don't know, and it's happening right now in today's world.
Hey, Amir, was that because you're not Arab?
Yep. No, it's not because you're not Arab. Even the Arabs, when they go to Saudi Arabia, right, and if they're from Egypt or whatever country, Iraq or whatever, they do not, what's the deal? But they'll put you in the kafala system, and the kafala system, everything needs to be, like back in the days when I lived over there, you couldn't even buy a car under your name. My dad had to find a Saudi citizen, and he would be like the primary person on there, and then my dad would be like a secondary or third person on there. And same thing with the businesses or whatever.
Yeah, no, I heard about the property, owning property or owning real estate and ownership over there. Okay, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know about now, but back in the days, it was very strict.
So does that limit down to where you're actually from now?
Yeah, you can find out. Anybody else? Oh, we have Dr. Crystal, Burrow. If you guys want to come up, I send you invite.
So what's the latest, by the way? What do you think is happening now?
Well, he tweeted about blocking State of Hormuz. Hey, what's up, Crystal? How you doing today? Okay, so what you been up to?
Nothing. I don't want to interrupt. So
Well, we were just talking about the State of Hormuz. Trump tweeted, like a retarded old man he is. He tweeted about that he wants to put a block on what you call it. He wants to put a block on Strait of Hormuz. Now the big thing is we're gonna have to see how he'll do it, because so far there's been two carrier ships have been bombed or attacked by Iran. One was Gerald Ford. The other one was what's the name of the other one? Let me see. The other one was USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier.
So I guess the U.S. I mean, if there's no deal, which I still think is a possibility, right? I'm still betting on that. But what I'm curious is if that doesn't happen, right, within a day or a couple of days, whatever, right, a week or so. Do you think that they're just going to create their own choke point now to stop you and everyone, which is what they're trying to do with the blockade? So they're going to basically create a choke point for everyone.
For Iran?
Yeah. No, U.S. for everyone. It's going to stop it all.
They can't.
Why?
Because on water, I was reading up this yesterday. I was going back and forth with Samoa, and I was able to
go in the straits. They can block everything on the core, everything leaving the straits. They can just
that's what I'm saying. Gulf of Oman, wherever they block, Iran has access to.
No, they can block it from leaving, though. That's what I'm saying. They can literally put enough ships there where nothing leaves. And that's what they're going to do. It's not even straight anymore now.
So just like these two ships were bombed, and the Strait of Hormuz will affect the Iranian economy, like inside Iran.
That's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, but you're not. So Iran has the capability to bomb the shit out of all these ships, and they're going to be.
I get it, but you're forgetting these ships that they're going to try to bomb. They have an insane amount of firepower that they're going to be able to retaliate back. It's not like Iran's going to throw some suicide. They have pretty good, sophisticated ships that they're going to put there.
Okay, let me tell you this. Okay, so no matter how hard the U.S. warships try, do you know that how they were able to get through the defense system inside Israel?
They just swarmed many of them and they passed through.
There we go. So let's go with this idea. They have, let's say, two defense systems on these ships, or the warship, whatever, 2 or 3 defense systems. Do you know how you overwhelm the system?
I understand what you're saying, right? But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. They're not just going to rely on ships. They're going to do both air and they're going to have naval. Naval is just going to be the force that's blocking it, but that's not going to be the overarching. I mean, they're going to probably have a pretty hardcore air campaign. I mean, it's going to be, if the Iranians, which they're going to try to retaliate out of this pretty obvious, right?
And how much will this cost the American tax?
Doesn't matter at this point. It does matter.
It does matter.
In Trump's eyes, it doesn't matter.
Trump is trying to get the bill approved for $1.5 trillion.
What I'm trying to say is, like, you're going to go deeper in the rabbit hole. Like, I mean, at this point, right, if you think about it, right,
okay. Let's go with your analogy. So they're going to have little jets in the air. They're going to be flying all 24 hours a day, right?
Yep.
24 hours a day. And those fighter jets, their focus is going to be only to shoot down drones.
They're not going to do. By the way, they're not going to do fighter jets. Like, if you're missing, they're going to have big B-2 bombers that are going to be going in and dropping massive, heavy air campaigns. It's not going to be like flying like a low radar type shit. It's going to be heavy over that the Iranians will not be able to see or hit.
Okay. So these will be like invisible? Is that what you're saying?
No, these will be heavy, high-altitude B-2 bombers that will be dropping massive, heavy ordnance.
Where would they be dropping?
Wherever they're going to try to hit from. Wherever they have a military point, they're going to try to take it out. Whatever their air defense system is, they're going to try to take it out.
Okay. What's air defense? I don't think Iran has an air defense system.
I don't know what they have left. Whatever they have left. I mean,
I don't think Iran has an air defense. I know, but I don't think Iran has air defense system. I mean,
I don't know. Whatever they have left, I'm sure they have expert military people that are going to strategize. They're going to look at every scenario possible, right? Whatever ground artillery launchers, because they got that F-15 without, like, one of those old school Russian-made type launchers from the ground, heat-seeking type shit, right? So wherever they're going to try to have that, they're going to have a massive amount of aerial eyes on them, right? So they're going to have all sorts of drones watching, looking. I mean, it's going to be a very heavy military.
Okay, so the big question for you: will the Yemeni Houthis start shooting as well?
What are they going to do? Enter the war now?
I mean, they have shot down a bunch of ships before in the sea.
Yeah, how far away are they going to come in with what?
You never know.
I mean, anything is possible, right? But let's just assume what we know on the table right now, right? Because this is a big assumption. Let's just.
And that's not an assumption. They will
It's
jump
an assumption. Everything is an assumption until you see it happen.
They will jump in, bro. You know this.
Everything is an assumption until it actually plays out. Right? Mira, what am I missing here?
And look, the way I'm looking at things, I think, according to even the person that wrote a paper, he analyzed the situation, this whole thing. He's an expert. I believe he served in the military. I don't know, like 10 years or some shit.
Okay.
He said it's impossible. It's hard to do it because.
Look, right now, Trump has his military guy, all the military people that told him no, him and Zedsack fired him or got rid of him. Trump has the guy in place right now that will literally do what he wants him to do. And that's the kind of group he's putting together around him. People that he can point fingers and tell them to do, regardless of whatever it is. And that's the type of craziness that's around his circle.
So, I'm saying to you that there's a possibility that Trump is bluffing, just like he did before. He's just going to extend this time by 2 more days. And he's going to keep doing it. He's trying to play with the oil market.
Well, he has 2 weeks. The ceasefire was 2 weeks, so he can make up his mind, right? So it depends on...
According to the U.S. position is that ceasefire has already been violated by Iran.
Okay, whatever. I mean, these little things that you're looking at, until someone actually starts to go and starts to restart the war in a heavier way, which we don't know, right? You're looking really fine-tuned on things, right? I'm looking at things when they actually happen. How does it play out? Right?
But
So,
are you looking at it from U.S. perspective or Iranian perspective?
all perspectives.
You can't. So the Iranian perspective is they're not going to shoot anything until America does a blockade which would violate the ceasefire. This is the Iranian perspective.
I'm looking at it from the perspective of what happens when I see it. And everything is an assumption until then, because we're all guessing.
No, not guessing. This is a fact. Iran said they're not going to attack until if America does do the, the blockade.
Okay.
That's a fact.
That's a fact, but it hasn't been proven yet, though. It's a fact, right? But it hasn't been proven yet.
I mean, that's what they said.
Why? But these things, the way like facts and all that, until it actually happens, it's all assumptions. It's all hearsay. Until they do it, until they move the ship, until a rocket goes back, it's all hearsay.
No, but from Iran, okay, put yourself in the Iranian situation. Right now, it's on ceasefire. If America does a blockade, which will block everything, from food, oil, everything,
Yep.
right? And that would, according to the Iranian side, if you were Iranian, that would violate ceasefire, right?
Sure.
Okay. And then the American side is saying they've already violated ceasefire by charging fees, by not, abiding by the nuclear thing or whatever. They've already violated ceasefire. So according to American position, it's already violation.
It depends on if look, everyone's going to violate it. It depends on who's going to be the first one to blink and who's going to be the first one to actually do something, right? So you're getting into the weeds of things, right? You're looking at the weeds here. I'm looking at the actions, like real actions that play out, right? So yeah, they're going to say that. Oh, you think the Iranians are going to actually fire on a ship right away when it's parked there? Let's see that happen, and then see where it goes.
All right.
I mean, it's all going to play out. Either it's going to get very much more intense. Like we're really going to go deeper in this, or it's going to simmer out slowly, depending on who. It's like a poker game, dude. It's like watching two players at the table.
There's a chance. I believe there's a chance Trump will do something stupid like that. Even when he invaded, when he went in there to rescue that the pilot, we still don't know was it a bogus mission or was it actually an actual mission?
Well, it all sounds conspiracy until you really know about it, right? It's easy to come up with conspiracies. Yeah, sure, but what would that prove, anyways?
No, so he was testing the waters. He was testing the waters to see if he can reach if he can reach.
I don't think the U.S., especially people around him, would put on such a big act just to test the waters to take that much a gamble. If he wanted to go ahead and do it, right, they have enough intelligence, they have enough training, and they have enough people around them, right, that when they'll just do a surprise attack and go, if Trump is going to invade, he's going to do it in a surprise attack. Just like he did with the Venezuelan, on a day, on a time, when no one fucking knows. He's not going to test the waters trying to go back and forth. That means suicide.
He was testing the waters and he went in there to rescue the U.S. pilot.
Well, I mean, that could have been a double-edged sword, two birds with one stone, if you really think of it from that perspective. But I don't think he's just going to all of a sudden say, "Oh, let's go do a dry run and see if we can go in and go out." That would be stupid.
That was a good move, though. To see if he could get closer to.
Yeah, I think the real thing is either they do a ceasefire, terms TBD, simmer down, still on the same position, haven't changed it. Either they have some kind of temporary skirmish back and forth, slowly escalate, right, which would then create this choke point, which would slow down reserves, which would stop all sorts of shit. The Chinese would get pissed off, and then they would start backing it and become like the freaking U.S. to the Ukrainians. You know, this thing slowly escalates where shit really hits the fan, and then we're talking all full-blown whatever, right? And then you don't worry about Clubhouse anymore if that happens.
We'll be here. I'll be here probably.
You'll be here like that guy with barely any internet if that happens.
Well, you want me to be gone? Is that what you want me to do?
No, I'm just saying, when shit really hits the fan, I mean, you're talking about a massive, escalation of every country in the world. And I mean, it's at that point where it could get there.
I mean, if somebody was to offer me $1 million, I'd probably disappear.
Disappear where? Where will you go?
I'll disappear in the bushes somewhere.
Good luck with that.
The bushes somewhere.
Why don't you start a podcast?
Podcast, bro. I already do enough talking as it is on this stage, on this up here. I tried Twitter. Too many glitches on Twitter.
I mean, you always try to something to say. You talk with confidence. You can start a podcast.
I know.
Dude, doing all that stuff requires.
I have to be good at bullshitting though, Zero. Sometimes I bullshit as well.
I think also there's name recognition, right? There's name recognition, and there's a lot of time. Like, look at Tucker Carlson. After so many years, after 20 years, he has so much name recognition. Like this image name recognition, he can go out on his own and do it now. Same thing with Joe Rogan, right? They can go out and create these $100 million podcast because they're very well known now.
Yep, that's true. You said it right. So
I just don't think for like a Joe Schmo is going to have the same success.
I'm a Joe Schmo. That's what he's calling me.
No, I'm just saying, if you think about it, right? I'm here from Clubhouse, not going to get a million views per episode, right?
I don't know. I think
actually, well, maybe if Black Rabbi was one of your first guest appearances, right?
What's up, Shane? You want to come up? Shane, you just called me Joe Schmo. I can't believe this.
Your boy Samoa's here, so you get Samoa, Shane.
Oh my God!
What? Who did you call Schmo?
He's calling me Joe Schmo.
Okay. I want you to know that an attack on Amir is like an attack on all of us.
What are you, like a NATO here? You're like a
UN.
Oh, this is the United States of America.
No. But the UN
You're either with us or
come on, right? The UN is so bogus; it never does anything. They just come up with paperwork and never do anything. Right? So So, I mean, honestly, the U.S. to me has been like an entire waste of time from the beginning. Like, it hasn't done anything.
Well, they're the ones who laid the second layered sanctions on Iran.
Yeah, who's 90% of the problem of the reason for that? That's the U.S. 50% of it is all U.S. influence.
No, I don't agree with that at all.
So, are you sweating, bro? You almost lost the bet in this.
No, I'm still. Before you join Shane, you should ask Amir. I still hold the same position. I think I told him right now. I said a couple of things. Either this thing goes deeper in the rabbit hole, which was the fan, right? Or it's like in a couple of days they'll just simmer out, and then this thing will just go like it's gonna get resolved. Like that's what my same position doesn't change.
So you're finished. Halas, you're done, man.
No, it's not finished, dude. It's not.
He has a chance.
So,
Let me be honest. He has a small chance.
What do you guys think about Iran saying they're opening up the Strait of Hormuz?
Dude,
Bro, what are you
that's
talking
like gossip. That's like gossip at this point. All of it's gossip.
What, the official statement saying that they're opening up the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, and tomorrow they'll probably say that the official statement changed in the U.S. Come on. When did this get out? It's all changing. It has to play out in like the next couple of days or so. Then
this was the comment made yesterday in counter to the international... and
right now the U.S. Trump just said I'm sending ships there to blockade them.
No, that's the exportation. That's not the Strait of Hormuz.
No, he wants to put ships there to block the Strait of Hormuz.
No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. He's putting ships at the Gulf of Oman and the export ports of Iran specifically, and only that. They're not obstructing the Strait of Hormuz. They're allowing every country that's outside of Iran to get their shit across.
I mean, hopefully they do.
Yeah, that's what the official statement from CENTCOM was this morning at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
I forgot. So, you're on that SIP rep, right? So you probably get that in a classified briefing before all of us do.
Well, everybody got it. Just for some reason, you don't have it. Well, I mean, the reason why it was so consequential is because Donald Trump said something stupid. The fucking markets responded. And then the official statement came out.
I was literally looking at futures right now to see where they are in futures.
That's exactly what happened. This dumbass fucking...
Futures are down right now.
Yeah, because this guy says, we're gonna blockade the Strait of Hormuz. That means absolutely nothing gets through. And then the CENTCOM comes in. No. We're only going to stop Iran's exports. So...
Either way, the market's still going to go red tomorrow because there's no ceasefire yet. That's the problem.
There is a ceasefire.
No, there's no deal. I'm sorry. There's no real deal.
Yeah. There's reports that there's a lot of fueling tankers in the air in the Middle East. I wonder what's going on.
Samoa, you better get out there.
Hell no.
You better get out there with your boy Black Rabbi in one of those ships.
Dude, I've been sitting over here waiting for Bitcoin to hit 63 so I can freaking buy some.
So, Amir, what do you think is going to happen with the Israeli Hezbollah thing? Israeli Hezbollah. What's going to happen there?
They'll probably get bombed or something.
No, there's supposed to be peace talks coming up in 2 days.
We're going to have a switcheroo. Iran and Israel are going to go back to bombing each other, and Lebanon and Israel are going to have a ceasefire. And they're going to keep fucking around. Switcheroo and switcheroo and switcheroo.
So they're going to become a shapeshifter, right?
Bro, they wish they can shift like me, bro. I perfected this shit.
This dude Trump says, hey, China, you guys can buy oil from us. It's like, oh shit. If America becomes the primary exporter of energy, let's just say in the next 3 to 4 years, who the hell needs the petrodollar anymore.
Well, how are they going to be able to buy from the U.S.? Because I don't think they even have plants out there, right? They have to where their refineries. I mean, how would that work exactly?
That we export up to 3 to 4 million a day, barrels a day.
Isn't that a long haul distance to get it from the U.S.?
No, they would just go to the Pacific.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, they just go to the Pacific.
Big question is the block going to happen or not?
They said 10 a.m.
That's what he said. That's what she
Samoa's
said.
going to be out there at
there's a difference between like when there's an official statement made by the military, Admiral Cooper, and Donald Trump. Like obviously, I would believe Admiral Cooper.
So the statement cannot be changed. There's infallibility here.
No, like when the military says we're going to do this, of course Donald Trump can say, "Hey, we reached a deal."
Yeah, Samoa. So I still think, and shapeshifter, this goes back to you. I still think given a day, 2, 3, maybe max, that this whole thing is resolved. I'm still in that same position.
I was laughing out loud on mute. If you'd like, I can laugh again unmuted.
Sure.
Right.
How many times did this Trump has come out with his statements, say that he's going to do this and do this and do this, and then he always walks back on his statement.
The problem is China.
So everything has to go through China. Like if you look at him postponing the meeting, the summit, the China summit, it was supposed to be right now. Actually, yeah, it was supposed to be like right now.
Exactly. That's why I was like waiting this out because he's got to fly to China. He's not going to fly over when this whole shit's happening. So he's going to make sure this thing is done and deal and resolved in whatever way, at the end of the day, whatever the hell the negotiation comes out to be. Who's over on the top and however this thing is brokered. But yeah, he's going to fly there before this is all. He's going to only fly there when this is cooked and done.
I mean, you can clearly see that if they're trying to damage Iran's export revenue, 80 to 90% of oil is received to China from Iran. So obviously we know who's going to be hit first, right?
Yeah, 90% of oil goes to cheap energy goes to China, right?
Yeah. Either China is going to have to buy more from the other countries, the other GCC countries, right? Or I don't know. Or maybe China might just fly over and bomb one of the naval ships, right, Amir?
Well, me and Sol, we were going back and forth to Israel, just like I went back and forth with you. If he was to do a blockade, there's a chance that the Yemeni Houthis will join as well. And,
I don't think of that.
And you know what the type of missiles they're going to use? So, you want to take a guess?
It doesn't matter, dude, because I just don't think they're going to jump in at this point.
I want you to guess what type of missiles they're going to use.
You're going to tell me that they have something that's so high tech out there. What is it?
There's one that has able to travel 4,000 kilometers. It's unnamed. We don't know the name of it. But do you know? But I'm not even talking about that particular missile. I'm talking about give me. Guess the name. What type of missile are they going to use?
I don't know. I'm not an expert on this stuff, so I don't know.
I think they would use cluster missile.
Okay.
The reason why the defense system can shoot down the ballistic missile. Okay. But the problem is where the cluster thing opens up and shoots about 10 or 20 of them. And that's what Israel is having a hard time with.
Yeah, but Iran can't use that against the naval ships. It's too close.
Oh, you can.
No, it's too close. Like the way that thing gets delivered is it has to go up like hella high.
Yeah.
And these things have to travel like 1,000, pretty close to 800 to 1,000.
So Samoa, can't they fly it from the other side of Iran all the way to the fucking ship? I think possible?
I guess.
Just to fuck with the warships, because those are more fucking scary than the actual ballistic missile. Ballistic missile is like kaboom, one attack. But those fucking cluster things, it's like all over the fucking place. It's like 10, 20 of them all over the place. You can't protect everybody, and there's going to be a lot more damage with the cluster versus the actual one missile. And the good thing with cluster is when it gets shot at, the defense system gets used, and defense system shoots at the cluster missile, and the cluster opens up and fucking shoots like 10 or 20 of them out of the little hole. And that's when it gets crazy. Then even Israel was having a hard time with the cluster bombs. And America is definitely going to have a hard time. I don't support it. I don't support fucking America going to war. But at the same time, Iran has the right to do whatever the fuck they're going to do.
To pay more for gas.
What did you say?
You guys are going to be way more stuff.
Chief, where do you live? Canada or where?
Yeah.
Have you heard of Canada before? We haven't heard of Canada. Where's Canada located?
All I know is Canada might be the next part of the U.S., right?
Where's Canada?
You mean Diet US? Diet US.
No, I mean he means the northern part of the U.S.
Yeah. Let me remind you guys, we're the country that recognizes, that condemns Israel for their murderous attacks. So
but it's still Canada.
Okay, I think we're doing okay. I think we're doing okay, bro. We're the country that doesn't have a president that sharts on national TV.
No, because Justin Trudeau is out there on the yacht with Katy Perry having fun.
Guys, our head of state is getting standing ovations, and yours is sharting on TV. What are you talking about? Like, are we seriously?
Shape, are you in Toronto or Montreal, or where you at?
These are very specific personal questions.
Yeah, man.
No, because I'm coming out there. Bro.
Toronto, bro. Toronto. Were you going to Montreal?
Yeah, I did Toronto a couple months ago. I'm doing Montreal in the fall.
I'll support the cause. I'll buy some concert tickets.
Yalla.
Shape today in the Bathurst Street, they had the kind of Palestinian. They take the flags, and then it was full of the police station over there. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, it was kind of supporting the Palestine in Bathurst Street, the Jew area.
Yeah.
What Sheikh says is Canada is the only country supports the Palestine.
No shape, but I don't know, man. I just sometimes I feel disappointed in shape. One time he says, no, it needs to be dismantled, this entity, and then all of a sudden you have a Zionist up here, he changes his fucking view. Just I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel disappointed in it. One day,
Maybe he doesn't watch the pills, huh?
No, he knows that this two-state was a bullshit from the jump. He knows all of this. This two-state thing was a bullshit from the jump. It goes against the Coup Charter. He knows Netanyahu does not want two-state. Even that Yitzhak Rabin was a genocidal maniac, by the way. If you look into the history, the shit that he has done to the Palestinians. It is what it is. We could have difference of opinion, I guess.
I'm the only thing that's keeping this from being an echo chamber.
I
have to be true to my name, bro. What do you want me to do?
That is true.
You want me to be consistent in my position?
Shaykh, let me ask you this. Does your family have a similar position as yours?
Oh, that's spicy. That's a 5 chili pepper question.
I know. I'm sure. And
Oh my goodness.
the Irish blood. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
And then your parents' Lebanese blood.
Let's just say my family sees things a little more black and white than I do. I'll let you guess which side they're on.
I believe they're on the Hezbollah side.
No comment.
I don't think so. I think they're on Donald Trump's daughter's father-in-law side.
Bro, they're okay. You want him to be cute, huh?
Do you know who he is?
I know.
He's a pretty rich Lebanese dude.
I know, but he's actually he supports Israel, by the way.
He supports Lebanon.
No, he supports Lebanon, and he's what's that? What type of Christians are those shaped in Lebanon? There's the one that are like Zionists.
Maronites.
He's a Maronite Christian.
Damn, Maronites are Zionists? I never knew that.
You finally taught me something. I've never heard of a Maronite.
Partially. They're not all. Some of them are pretty
Hardcore.
Maronites are like they really like go really far back to the old scriptures, right? They're more root Christians, right? Am I getting insane?
No. They're like a bit confused. Like Amir said, they're confused souls. They quote him here.
They're not confused.
This is how they work, right?
They're similar to evangelicals.
I think they follow the Catholic Church. So they kind of they have their alliance to the Western Church. This is why they're confused. They're in the East, but they follow the Western Church. It's very confused. They have Saint Maroon, who was a monk in Syria. So they just got all caught up in Western values. It's the problem.
Oh, they're Catholic, bro.
Lebanese, or they are from the Syria?
It says Lebanon.
They're Lebanese. Lebanese.
And they're
follow.
Catholic.
Yeah, they're
Eastern Catholic.
They're basically Catholic, and they follow. They come from Saint Maroon, who was a guy in a priest or some kind of Jesuit that was in the caves in Syria practicing, I think, a solitary lifestyle, if I'm not mistaken. So, but they're very nouveau. They're very new. They're very modern. They're not the old school Christians. At least not culturally. But we accept all Christians.
At the end, do they pay money to the church, or they don't? That's the main question.
Yeah, they pay.
Okay, so they are not that much modern. Thank you.
Yeah, they're not like Protestants.
Yes.
But the problem is some of them are very confused, and they think that the Muslims are their enemies. It's a very stupid idea to think that the Muslims are your enemies.
Stupid.
Yeah, but stupid idea. While your Israelis are your friends. This is like the dumbest idea I've ever heard. So they're very confused. There's not too many of them on Clubhouse. One or two confused ones. They're not as confused as Pahlavis, though. Pahlavis are the most confused.
We have Pahlavi in the audience. Reza, is here? Reza, you want to come up? Did you change your position? Go on, Namazi.
No, I was just saying, can you be more confused than a Pahlavis? I don't think it's possible.
like some of these. What are they called?
Maybe a Zionist. Maybe a Zionist is a little confused.
Who are the ones in India that are hardcore and they hate Palestinians and they don't even know anything about them? What the hell? What are they called? I mean,
They're Sikh.
The Sangees, they're called Sangees.
Sangis. Yeah, those are the most things I've ever met.
Because they're colonized.
Bro, like they come in these rooms. They have so much hate to Palestinians. If you try and have a serious conversation, just to figure out how much
They're pretty vicious.
they're brutal, but you try and like kind of get them to get their defenses down. Because I've done this, right? Because I'm a shapeshifter, right? I come in all coy and smooth. I just want to know how much they know.
Smooth operator.
Exactly, operator. And bro, they don't know anything. Like they don't know anything about the region. Zero.
They just hate Muslims.
Oh, shoot, bro.
Chico hates Palestinians.
Mr. Chico. Mr. Chico. Sadma Zaman. Machara.
He believes Israel is a beautiful country, has a beautiful army. He's from Egypt. He wants to be buddy with Israel, right, Chico?
No, Mr.
The guy seems to know me. I don't know who is this, but no.
This is Amir, Chico.
Who's this guy?
No,
I mean, stupid.
I don't know who this acceptor is.
Oh, they're saying, yeah, okay. He agrees when I said it.
Do you guys think that Mr. Chico sounds like the male version of Fatima? I think so.
I didn't hear you, but I'm just like calling for peace. This is all. But I'm just here to check with you guys for all of you who supported war and wanted all of this to happen. So, what do you think?
We did not support war.
Why, Mr. Chico?
Because the more you would support Khamenei agenda, you're asking for war.
La, ya Chico.
I don't support
Ya
Khamenei.
Chico. We don't care about this. Stupid.
This is a very stupid.
What?
We don't care about this, the war and the people. We care about the people.
Mr. Chico, you could say this, or you could say that.
This or that.
You could say this, or you could say that. You could say this, or you could say
You can say
that.
with that. I think you get with this because this is where it's at.
I think you guys are in love with Adil Imam.
أنا مصري يا معلم.
I would ignore this. So, what do you think would happen now?
Why? Why you ignore this? What happened? You left? Damn, man, I was getting my Egyptian on, bro. How'd I do, Shape?
That was really good.
Thanks for that.
That's this very. It didn't sound stupid.
I got to skill. I got to skill.
Do you think it sounded smart?
Nobody's.
It sounded smart. Why you say the same? I'm just kidding, man. But anyways, Shape, do you believe in victory? Are you gonna win against Seoul?
I like my odds. I really do.
What was your bet that if they keep on attacking Lebanon, Iran's gonna go back to war?
Yeah, but given that it hasn't even been 24 hours and they've already walked away from the table, bro, I like where I stand right now.
Yeah, the war has started already.
But did you want it to ceasefire though, Shape?
Of course, I want ceasefire.
So some people that disagree with you.
Like Mr. Chico.
Mr. Chico.
Yeah, to achieve what? So you want the ceasefire to achieve what?
We don't care about this, Chico. Yeah, Chico.
You gotta say yes.
Yeah, Chico, مش كده.
That's
No,
another
ya Zalama is Lebanese people. It's not the Egyptian.
مش كده يا سعادة البيت.
you support Israel? Do you support Israel, Chico? Or you changed?
When did I support Israel, Amir? I never supported
Does
Israel.
Israel have a right to exist?
Yes.
Okay, why? Can you get?
They earned it. They earned it.
Oh, they earned it by ethnically cleansing Palestinians. Okay. By genociding.
By existing, by making a
By
country,
existing.
society, you cannot deny them that. Like I hate
Okay,
them. I hate them.
Let me ask you this. When you went to war, when your country went to war in 67, did you lose the war or did you win the war?
We lost the war in 67, but we won.
And during the Yom Kippur, did you win the war or did you lose the war?
We won the war.
How did you win the war in 73?
We took back Sinai.
Okay, what was promised in return? What did you promise in return?
Nothing, just the Camp David Accord.
The recognition of Israel. You don't mention the big part. Recognition of Israel.
Recognition of Israel, yes, okay. So
That was part of it.
Yeah, which is okay.
That was part of it.
Yes, which is okay because they managed to fight. They managed to occupy our land. We kicked them out. Yes, you're speaking to them.
You didn't kick them out. They gave it back to you. You didn't kick them out. They had it under their control. Yes. They had it under their control.
I can't hear you.
I said, yes, they had it under their control. Oh, wow, Chico left. He's been stealing neighbor's Wi-Fi. You got to go to a different McDonald's location, bro.
I'm not stealing Wi-Fi now.
Are you sitting at McDonald's? Go to Starbucks.
War and we won. It was a brilliant plan with the Sarah Shadley. He was a major at the army. He like everything was done brilliantly until Sadat ordered to advance without a bridge. This is why our situation got weakened. But this was somehow some people are suggesting that this was orchestrated because Egypt was not supposed to do more than that because that's
Chico,
the Americans. Yes.
Chico, if they captured your piece of land, who won the war? During the Yom Kippur War, they captured Sinai. Okay?
No,
so who won the war?
The exact opposite happened.
No, they captured it. They captured Sinai.
They captured it in 67. But then in the Yom Kippur War, we took it back.
You didn't take it back in 73. You didn't take it back. You got it back in about 79 or something, or 78.
No, we took the other side of the Suez Canal on 73. The last part we took on the 24th of April. Yes, that was 81, I believe.
Yeah. So I'm talking about later. Even after the Yom Kippur War, even after the Yom Kippur War, Israel had the Sinai.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a lose-lose. You didn't win the war.
We did win the war because
they still had the Sinai captured.
The whole thing. But of course, there was some areas occupied by them. We took it back by negotiation.
But that's later. But 73, you didn't win the war. You lost.
Oh my God! If we just think about it,
Think about what? What should I think about?
We took Sinai back. If we lost the war, they had Sinai.
You did not take the Sinai back. They gave it to you. That was in return for recognition of Israel.
There's no such thing. You cannot give back a piece of land like Sinai.
Yes. You did it during the Yom Kippur. You did not get it back in the Yom Kippur War. You didn't get it back in 73.
We took the major part.
Did you get the Sinai in 73?
The major part of it, yes.
Major part of it. You didn't take shit back, bro.
Our army took back the Suez Canal. This was the whole problem. This was our greatest achievement within this war. But I'm still not understanding why this is relevant here. The world is gonna end because of stupid agendas for people who are thinking
you
they are.
said that Anwar Sadat advancing. Why?
What?
Why Anwar? like you said something about Anwar Sadat border advancing because what was the reason? I agree with you up to the time that you were winning up to the time Anwar Sadat border.
Sadat ordered to
Why
advance
did
the
Anwar
troops.
Sadat order advance? Why did
The reason that they published back then that they were supporting Syria because Syria was part of this war, the other side. But this was stupid. And Sadat Shazli, he told him, this is stupid, do not do this. But still, they did that. And Sadat wasn't stupid. He was a military man, so he knew what he's doing. So what people think, what historians think, that he did that not to advance too much, because too much would have summoned the Americans and other superpowers, and that would have burned the whole region. No one would want this. The same case as what was happening with Gaza, but no one is getting it. People are so stupid.
No, I didn't.
My friend, don't be stupid. Give respect to the Anwar Sadat, stupid.
No, why did Anwar Sadat order advancing? So the way I understood it, Egypt like win, and they had a strong presence, and because of the missiles they had, the Israeli airplane could not hit their tank, so it was over. Then Anwar Sadat ordered tanks go inside the area that the Israeli airplane could hit them, and they didn't have missiles to shoot down the airplane. So that was the biggest mistake he did. So why did he
It
go
wasn't
there?
a mistake. He did it on purpose. He meant
Why
to
did
do
he
it
do
like
that?
that.
He wanted to lose the war?
Not wanted to lose the war, but wanted to open a back door because he didn't want to push too much because that would have got the Americans. And without that, if he didn't push too much, the left side in Egypt or the opposition would have said, "Oh, how would you dare not advance and not wiping out the Israeli people?" So there has to be a reason because after all, the Sadat is not working for the Americans. But things are more complicated than they seem. There are many things to be considered.
So you think Anwar Sadat was a good guy, was not a traitor, that did this on purpose for Egypt to lose?
Of course he was.
So that good guy, give him respect.
No, Mazi, wait, why you are raising discussion? I mean,
He's good guy.
I'm having a serious discussion. Why are you a clown?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
عيب
Calm
عليك.
down.
عيب عليك.
So I'm just curious from an Egyptian.
Ignore him. Ignore him. Just ignore him.
I want you to calm down. So Anwar Sadat, from an Egyptian point of view, this act, which ended up losing the war, was not a betrayal. Was a stupid mistake or was not a stupid mistake? What did you think?
It didn't cause us to lose the war. We didn't lose the war. And it was an
You
orchestrated
lost all your
mistake.
tanks, you lost everything. After this, they came or took all the Synads away. What do you mean? Is this mistake?
No, we didn't lose all of our tanks. We didn't send all of our tanks to that part of the war.
Okay,
We didn't advance. The full tank troops. No. This is
So
not
this
true.
is the way that it happened. So Egypt attacked, got them by surprise, destroyed everything they had, and Egypt had missiles. They could not hit anything. Like the airplane could not come and hit the tanks. Then
I'm telling you, it was done on purpose. This was done on purpose because otherwise, if you would push too much, you would get other powers into this war. And we didn't want that.
They pushed further. Like this, he pushed too much. He pushed enough, and Egypt was winning. Then he pushed too much, and Egypt lost. It's not that he pushed too much.
No, that wasn't pushing. That stupid advance, that wasn't pushing. That was stupid. Pushing would mean advancing slowly. According to that plan, the air defense didn't move with the tanks because it was slow. It wasn't moving air defense. So advancing slowly would have wiped out Israel, but no one would want that. Why do you think America
So why
is
did
doing
they
all
even
this?
want you to advance? You got signed up back and you were all good. So why did you even want to advance further? So you are saying
Because
that
that was the mentality back then. That was right after Abdel Nasser wave, that era was just after Gamal Abdel Nasser, and people were thinking like that. This was the mentality back then. Let's wipe out the Zionist people. Let's eliminate them and all of this shit. So yeah, this is why I'm saying they earned it. Like they survived all of this and they pushed through and they advanced. The Americans yet.
But you don't make sense.
What?
I have a lot of respect for Egyptians, but you don't make sense. You are in a position to win the war. Israel doesn't have any military, and you are saying that we did an act. We lost all our tanks. We lost all our military.
We didn't lose all of our tanks. I'm not saying this. You're saying this.
That's
No,
what
you're
happened.
saying
After
this.
they advanced, their airplane ruined all your
We advanced part of the tanks. Of
And
course,
then
we
they
wouldn't do a
resized
full tank
their
advance. It was calculated. You cannot understand it because you cannot understand that we won the war. What?
You didn't win the war. You lost the war.
We won the war. In Egypt, we do have this day as a national holiday every year, 6th of October. We do have a whole city named after that day, 6th of October. I know what I'm telling you. Like, we won the war. I'm an Egyptian. I'm telling you, we won the war. This is not propaganda because I'm not that stupid.
Once the war finished, Israel agreed to pull back. The shuttle diplomacy, at the end, it was Israeli army who pulled back. It was not Egyptian army who pulled back. So you kind of lost the war.
Theoretically, if you want to think of it like this, okay, think of it like this, but we took control over Sinai and we took it all back after that, so I would call that a winning. Wouldn't you?
No, I mean, at the beginning you were winning. I mean, it was all like they couldn't do anything. But Anwar Sadat...
You just can't get the full picture.
I mean,
You know, as a teenager,
and I
for me, as a teenager,
I thought
way
that
back,
I agree that Anwar Sadat
I get you.
was God
Yeah, I get you
spy
completely.
and then betrayed the
As a
military.
teenager, I was considering Anwar Sadat to be a spy. I was despising him, and I was saying, like, how the fuck would a president do this?
So that's
But
what I
I-
heard. That's what I came to the States to make sure I had it
Yeah,
correctly. Because that was
if you
the
would
first time I
research
heard it.
more, do more research. What happened? Listen to the people who fought this war. Like, you know, the general who has like put this army, Sadat Shazli, he hates Sadat so much, and he died hating him.
I know.
Because-
That was a stupid thing. Everybody agrees. So, but you're justifying it, which is weird.
I'm not justifying it, but I understand why Sadat Shazli would hate this because this was his plan, this was his life achievement, and it was a huge one. So Sadat ruined it by doing this stupid shit. But from a like unbiased point of view, from a neutral point of view, there was like some kind of reasoning for what Sadat has done. It wasn't out of nowhere. It wasn't just a random move. No. Because if you would really understand what's happening right now, like why America is so serious about Iran not having nuclear bomb. Yes, the Iranian regime is unexpected and dangerous, and it's a theological regime, but it's all about Israel. They don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon, not to threaten Israel. So, with any real threat to Israel, you would summon the Americans. Since the Iranian people are fighting the Americans, and they are doing sort of good. But why? Like, you would go into a fight to accomplish something for your country, for your people. Such fight, why would you have it? What would you get out of it? You know?
I mean, you were talking about Iran. That's. I don't want to go that hard with you, but
No, I'm speaking it's the same logic. So what's happening with Iran right now is because of Israel. The move that
Iran
Sadat
right
did
now
was
Iran,
because of Israel.
No, Iran right now is going to recognize Israel, but Iran will do it in the case of we won the war and we recognize you. That's what's going to happen, right? On the 48th
No, I'm not speaking about
Iran
theoretical
lost the war.
terminology. Wait, man.
Different
No. I'm speaking, Iran is being bombed because of Israel. All of this is happening because, really because of Israel.
all of this is happening because Trump is an orangutan which doesn't understand anything. This is nothing to do with Israel or anything. This is just a stupid president of the United States. This is kind of American people's fault to put this monkey in the commander. This is why this is happening. There is no other reason. There is no. Did you guys see the tweet that he's now attacking the Pope?
Maybe he would attack anyone. He's funny. And this is happening not because Trump is stupid, but because Iran has become a real threat to Israel. So
this is happening because Trump is stupid. That's the only reason that this is happening.
Let's add some respect to the Donald Trump. He's the president of America. Let's not go down that path. He's a beautiful orange man. He's a beautiful orange man. Let's not. Some people might call him a pedophile, but let's not go down that path. Let's be respectful. We can still be respectful and call it pedophile. It's okay. Respectfully. You got to keep it respectfully.
As long as you say respectfully before.
Oh, we have Alan down in the audience. Wow. Alan's probably triggered. Alan, why do you defend fucking Trump, man, in other spaces? Somebody sent me a clip of you. Why do you do that, Alan?
Okay.
You're just an old man. Like, seriously, you want to debate on this?
I don't like people sending clips of me. Second, I'm so triggered. I'm so upset what you said about Trump. I'm going to cry. I need to go to my Trump safe space.
Alan, calm down, Alan. Alan, please. This is a therapy room. Amir's therapy room. A safe space. Don't cry, bro. It's okay for a man to cry, by the way, but don't.
I just saw, the comedian, if you have time, the comedian Bill Burr, he said...
yeah, he's funny.
Yeah, he said, I just saw a clip, I don't know where it's from. He said, men have two emotions. They can either be mad or they can be fine. If you're any other emotion, if you express any other emotion, those are all gay. So it's like he went to one time his wife came in and she said with her, he said, well, I'm sad. She looked at him like, what the hell? And said, oh, I'm sorry, and walked out the door. She didn't know what to do. So, yeah, he's great. He's great. Yeah, but no, Amir, I get it. I don't, I seriously, I don't get triggered by any of that. I expect people are going to be throwing shit at everybody else.
Yeah.
Right?
That is true. Take it like a man.
Yeah, let's just hope the whole world doesn't blow up. Let's just hope for that.
Oh, we're doomed. Kiss your ass goodbye.
Oh, your glass is half full, clearly.
Jeez, yeah. No.
Alan, are you a good troll? I think you are.
No,
he came in here crying, so he is a good troll.
Yeah, he's a good troll.
Yeah, but I know Amir and I've been in Amir's rooms plenty of times.
Amir and I, good English, good grammar.
Is that what I said? I don't remember. Anyways, no, I just look. Yeah, sometimes I do, but the problem is when you're sarcastic on the internet, nobody gets it. And it's called Poe's Law or something that says no matter how ridiculous you make your troll sound, there's always somebody on the internet who will think you're serious and take it seriously. So I
mean, these are the consequences of smartphones being operated by dumb people,
Yeah, well, but this was even before smartphones, Mazi. I mean, I remember this from 20 years ago. Like, I was the first guy on my friends who got, like, high-speed high-speed modem.
Oh, you had the
Before that,
dial-up
it was
shit
all-
where it made the crazy screeching nails
yeah,
on the
yeah.
chalkboard sound when you would
Yeah,
dial it.
And guess how much you paid for?
I couldn't afford it, bro. I was in the hood, broke. I couldn't afford it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
My
it was
friend
like-
had it though. My friend, I used to go over his house and use it.
Yeah, and it was like $200 for the box. I mean, it was crazy, you know. So, anyways, yeah, I know. I get it. Nobody likes Trump. So, but hey, what are you gonna do? Let me put it this way. The Democrat would have to be really good in order for me to not vote for Trump. You know, and the Democrats don't have anybody. That's the first problem. The second problem is because I live in California and I'm aware of how corrupt the Democrat machine is. Even if a Democrat candidate said, yeah, I'm not going to do any of the, transgender stuff, none of this, none of that. Whatever they said, I still wouldn't believe them. That's because I don't know if you knew this, Amir. I voted Democrat most of my life up until about 2019.
I got tired of Democrats.
So wait, how far back did you vote Democrat?
I've been here for like 100 years.
No, like did you vote for Mondale? Like was people like that?
When was Mondale?
Walter Mondale. He was in the 80s, second term of Reagan.
I voted for Mondale. The only time
You like how I remember that, huh, Amir?
You're an old man just like Evan.
The only other time I voted for a Republican was Bush Jr., his second term. And the reason why I did is because, I don't want to open up a can of worms with this.
Oh, the worms are open. The can's wide open.
Yeah, I'm afraid of that. Is because right after people don't remember. I remember. I
remembered Mondale. You think I'm not gonna remember what you're about to say? Go ahead.
No. Well, maybe you'll remember this. Right after 9/11, the Democrats collectively came out and said it's our fault that they bombed the towers.
Some truth in that.
There may be, but you don't freaking say it. It's like when right after it, it's like your friend telling you, "Well, geez, I have heart disease." The first thing you say isn't, "Well, you've been eating
cheeseburgers, right?"
You say, "Oh, geez, I'm sorry, that's horrible news," right? So, that's the issue. It was just, and then it was just that kind of, and that kind of, blind and automatic, we got to blame ourselves. And since they brought it up, or since he brought it up, yes, one can always look at what you did in any kind of interaction that may have contributed to the problem. But once it comes to war, you got to pick a side. And they picked the enemy's side. And that I didn't forgive him for, So, but still, after Bush Jr., who I forget who came after, then I voted for a Democrat again. So, and it wasn't until, more recently that I said, okay, I've had enough. This is enough, But,
So
Anyways.
Alan, I kind of respect, especially because you have this Armenian roots. But talking about Democrat and Republican, like correct my history. So during Vietnam War, the Democrat president is talking to Viet Cong for a peace deal, and the Republican candidate does treason and goes talk to Viet Cong and says, "Do not accept peace. Let me become president, and I will give you a better deal." Move forward during the Iranian Revolution. Carter is talking to Iranians to release hostages. Again, Carter is a Democrat. A Republican candidate does a treason, fucking treason. This is treason. Pay attention. Goes on the back of US government, talk to the Iranians, do not release hostages, let me become the president, and I will give you a better deal.
I hadn't heard of that. Who was the person for the Vietnam?
Nixon was the president, the Republican, and Reagan was the Republican candidate.
Yeah, and they're claiming that both of them went, like that Nixon went to the Viet Cong.
Yes, Nixon went to Viet Cong. He was a candidate. He was not allowed to talk to enemy in the middle of a war when the U.S. government is dealing with the peace treaty. The same with the Iranian situation. So when you are like doing this, you are a traitor to your country.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that.
Yes, please read your history when you are so much Republican.
But wait,
how traitor you are.
If that's true, it's still not going to change my mind. You know, I respect.
Abortion is more important than the traitor in your country and national.
Yeah, no,
but are higher values.
Because the problem let me see. Hold on a sec.
I'm still trying to figure out why an Iranian is teaching an American history.
Yeah, that I looked it up. The thing about Nixon was not true.
Both American, by the way. Okay.
Yeah, but Amir, let me give you a gift. You know Daniel, who that is?
Yes, you mean from the Israeli genocide?
The Israeli one.
Israeli genocide.
No, just call it Blue Day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I was in a room, and you know Sig too, right? Who that is or no? Anyways, I'm in a room.
Who was it?
Sig.
Oh, Sig, I think I might have seen him.
Yeah, anyways, I was in a room, and it's like, you know, the typical way that, you know, the arguments are going back and forth. So at a certain point, I said, look, my point is Iran and Israel are fighting. And it's like two little kids, and your big brother is telling you now to calm down. I was arguing over what the ceasefire meant, and he's like, well, they did this. Yeah, I don't care about that. But I kept, at a certain point, I just kept saying, we're your big brother. You need to do what we say. And he completely lost it. It was beautiful. It really was. Because
that's a good one.
Yeah, because, I mean, look, I don't want to insult anybody here, but America is one of the big superpowers. And it's like, yes, there are strong nations in the Middle East. I don't want to offend anybody's ego here or anything else, but America's the big dog. Period. And So if America tells Israel, sit down and shut up, they're supposed to do that. Especially if you claim to be our ally, you need to do what we say. And it's the typical, well, no, we're strong, we're the strong, whatever. But yeah, he lost his, He lost.
Daniel lost it.
Yeah. It was hilarious. So.
What about Abby? She works for him.
Here's the thing, and I've said it before. Abby, as a conservative, is very helpful to the Republican Party. So she does the exact same thing. I hate it, but I give her leeway because she's influential and she's helping in as far as American politics. She's very helpful, but look, we know. I mean, in the Middle East, people love to argue. We argue all the time. I think the difference is there's a certain style of arguing that a certain group of people engage in, which involves interrupting all the time, arguing the tiniest little point, etc., etc. And the point is that if you do that, you may win the argument, but you haven't changed anybody's mind. You've pissed them off, and you've only made them more, set in their opinion. And it's you know what I mean, Amir? Amir?
No, I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. See, and let me say, I mean, I appreciate the way you run your room to hop off their mic if somebody's.
In my rooms, they get heated as well, especially with Zionists and even those Raza Pahlavi supporters. The ones that they support the Raza Pahlavi. They want to see the countries getting bombed, the Iran getting bombed. It does get heated.
Well, everybody's scared. It's that simple. I mean, we're all scared. And the thing is, let me tell you though, being more, the left is especially scared because the left is always scared. I mean, when you look at the politics of this country, the politics that the left is engaged in has been, oh my God, transgender people are at risk. If we're not inclusive, if we don't support them, there's going to be murders and suicides. And then black people are at risk. We're going to lose them. It's a crisis situation. Pick any group that they support, and then there's some sort of hyperbolic emergency that they are in the way they speak. So it's, and at a certain point, like from my perspective, I remember in Trump's first term, I was like, oh God, why is there Trump? Why is Trump causing so much chaos? And then what I came to realize is that Biden became president and the chaos continued. And it wasn't coming from Trump. It was coming from the Democrats. I mean, the Democrats elected Trump this time. You understand that what they should have done is said, thank you, Mr. Trump, for your presidency. Have a nice life, and never mentioned his name again. Instead, they went on and on and on for 4 years about how terrible he was, And people were like, yeah, I don't think he's so terrible. And we're sick of you guys crying and complaining. And that's how Trump got elected. The Democrats gave him billions of dollars in free publicity. You know, and so that's why now, I mean, the Democrats are beside themselves, you know, because Trump, you know, goes to war with Iran. Now this is actual death. This is not made up, you know, oh my God, some trans person might be assassinated, might be killed, or might get beaten up. This is actual war where people are dying. You know, I think they're overloaded. They are miserable. Miserable.
I agree with you that Democrats are, yes, yes. But why you guys defend Trump? This is the problem I have. You can say that Trump is the president. We picked Trump because we don't want Hillary, the Kamala. That I can understand. So that they are right. Democrats are like much worse for United States than right now Trump. But why defending Trump's action? This is what I don't understand. He is a disaster. Like, why we cannot agree, at least as an American, that he's really a disaster? Why are you defending him?
Well, look, here's the thing. Trump may, I'll say this, Trump may not be as smart as you think, but he's a lot smarter than the Democrats say he is. Let me just put it that way. And I think the left in the United States has been effective as portraying him as a dummy and an idiot and a loose cannon and not thinking things through, all of that. The problem is he's not those things. Now, here's the thing to remember about Trump, okay? Wait, Fan, I don't know. Are you in the United States? It doesn't matter if you are.
I was, and I ran
Okay.
away because of Trump. Currently,
Okay, all right. But you know how vicious and cutthroat New York City can be, right? I mean, it's a tough city.
I lived upstate New York, but I can.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay,
And you know that the mafia is there too.
right.
Remember, Trump built a high-rise building in New York City. He had to deal with a lot of nasty people. He had to deal with the mafia. People forget that Trump was a builder, yes, so what? No. That's
Someone of United States, the hand of God? I mean, come on, give me a break.
Yeah, I know, but see, look, we could go back and forth on this, and maybe Trump is too nasty, but the Democrats are too weak. And I think what happens is, and look, we are all familiar with the Middle East and Middle Eastern culture. And what the Americans, and especially the Democrats, they assume when they go to the Middle East that everybody is using Western European culture and Western European ideas and philosophy. And they don't understand that the Middle East is a completely different culture. I'm not saying it's better. I'm not saying it's worse. It's different. And they go there thinking that the people they're negotiating view the world the same way they do. And that's their downfall. And they get taken advantage of. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was on one stage and there was a woman whose family is all in Iran, She said when Obama made the nuclear deal and gave them all that money, that the IRGC just took that money and didn't give anything to the people and used it to fund themselves and other terrorist groups. Now, that may or may not be true, but it sounds like it could be. And to me, it's just the perfect example of, of the Democrats just not getting it, So,
I mean, your claim is this, basically, the way I understand it, that Democrats are weak. Obama was weak. Obama went to Iran and gave them whatever they want, not understanding that what kind of nasty people they are. This is kind of your argument. And Trump is a nasty, strong person, and he's just, he's going there and make sure that they do not treat Americans as weak. Is that your claim?
well, I wouldn't use the word nasty. You can use that as you want. My better word is it's different. And let me just say, let's use the word playing hardball. I can't think of a better expression right.
Like it's strong. Let's make
strong. Yeah.
Yes, he knows the deal of negotiation. Now, Obama came to power, united the whole nations of the whole planet to put the toughest sanctions of Iran and force them to come to the table, sign a deal, completely neutralize their nuclear capability. They put cement inside their nuclear reactors. Irreversibly force them to give up their nuclear capabilities. Trump came to power. Right now, the whole world is on Iranian side. They have not only given up their nuclear capability, they are saying that they're gonna make nuclear bomb. They have taken the Strait of Hormuz, that the world is accepting it. Right now, they are thinking about how legally can give it to them. And you are telling me Trump has won and Obama was weak? That's my counter argument.
And that's a good one. Yeah, that's not a good one. That's a good one. My only counter would be that I think my perspective would be, and what I suspect is they took the deal but they knew they were going to rebuild. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I suspect.
No, they didn't rebuild Allen. The truth is that it was completely up to the time that Trump came out of it, then they start rebuilding. But before that, they were not rebuilding.
Hello, lovelies. How you doing?
Good. How you guys?
Assalamu alaikum. Sorry. Yeah, pretty good. Thank you. Pretty good. What have I missed? Anything exciting?
No, I was just talking to Alan. Alan is a Trump supporter.
Oh God. Okay. I'll steel myself then.
Hey Joe, is that the same Joe that I know? Joe? Is that the Palestinian Joe? Well, he left.
So tell me why you like Trump then, Alan.
Well, I just spent 10 minutes talking about it. I don't want to repeat myself.
Okay.
Alan, your position is going to be questioned with every rule.
Well, of course.
It's very controversial to support what's his name, Donald Trump nowadays.
Wait, say that again. It cut out.
So, at this moment, majority of Americans are anti-war with Iran, right?
Yeah.
So every room, if they find out you're a Trump supporter, they're gonna question your position.
Well, look, here's where, as far as I know, here's where we're at. First of all, as far as this action, Trump is on record in the 80s saying, if I was president, I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear bomb and never allow them to develop it. So he's been consistent with that. So this is not something he suddenly pulled out of his hat to say, "Oh, gee whiz, I want this." What he said, I saw an interview for him, and he said, "Look, the sticking point, the negotiation that just failed, the sticking point, the United States said, our main objective, you cannot have nuclear weapons and you cannot develop them." And he's saying that on Iran's side, they said, "No, we are going to get a bomb and we are going to develop weapons." And that was, aside from anything else, that was the sticking point where they failed.
Alan, do you think that you can trust the American government? I'll give you an article. Before this war started, the foreign minister Oman said they agreed to 0% stockpile? Iran agreed to it?
When was this?
This was prior to the attack, I think 3 or 4 days prior to it. I'll put the article, it's from Al Jazeera. The foreign minister of Oman said this, right? And even there was even an official in the U.S. government said, "We're very close to it. This is the first time we have a breakthrough," or whatever, because we had that brother Fayaz in here. He's a co-mod of this room, so he shared it. I forgot the guy's name. You don't have to chat GPT or something. I'll see if I can find the name. So what I'm saying is, Alan, what we hear from Trump's mouth or J.D. Vance's mouth cannot be trusted.
Well, it's interesting, Amir, because what we also hear is we can't trust what comes out of Iran's mouth.
Yeah, that's fine. We can't trust either party, but what I'm saying is you have to read between the lines, right?
So what do you think that meant? What?
So if you pick up both sides sources, you pick up American source, CNN or whatever, Fox or whatever bullshit, and then you pick up the Iranian state media source. What you do is you try to connect the dots, and then you read between the lines, which one's on the truth, and try to understand it for your side, for your from your perspective, and then get other people to understand it as well. Because when I look at both these sides, right, I have to sort of analyze that. Look, this is actually logical. This is logical to me, and this makes sense to me. That it is true. There's some truth to it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see. The way I view it is, Iran knew what was coming down the road. So they're saying, yeah, we agree, as a stall tactic to try and, okay, we'll tell them we'll agree, then they'll call it off, and then we'll go back to doing what we were going to do. That's the way I see it. I mean, so I don't know what else.
Because I don't trust the American government, and you agree, right? We went to war with Iran because of Israel. You agree on that, right, Alan?
We had enough reasons to go to war with Iran without Israel.
Let me put the Oman's
put it in the link. But look, would you want the if the IRGC and he's made clear he doesn't care about the regime change. His main goal is no nuclear weapon.
I put the article in the chat for anybody that's home from Al Jazeera.
Yeah. If the IRGC lost power, what is your opinion about that?
So look, from American perspective, we don't give two fucks for the regime change. We agree on that, right? We're agreement on that. What we do care is maybe if America was to normalize shit, and it happened twice already. Every time they came to the table, Israel wants to come in the middle, wants to be the fucking attention whore, right? That Israel is, and wants to go on attack mode. Happened twice, right? And this right here, this third time is going to happen again, and I'm sure it's going to be violated by Israel again. Israel already violated the ceasefire by killing 300 people in one day in Lebanon, and they've injured over 1,000 people. You know, that was part of the ceasefire deal, because Hezbollah it's financed by who? By Iran. So this is where I have a problem. You know, why does America? This is why when you look at the surveys, even Tucker Carlson talked about this. Majority of Americans, more than 70 to 80%, they're anti-war with Iran, anti-boots on the ground inside Iran, and even the recent rescue mission, the one pilot. Do you remember the rescue mission they did? Do you know how fucking it sounded pretty fishy? I'll tell you how it was fishy. Over 150 jets in Iranian airspace. The soldier happened to be near the uranium enrichment program, right? What was he? And there was a report. I think he traveled 50, 100 miles in one day on foot. And the Iranian side, they offered what was it? I think $80,000 to grab him.
I heard it was 60, but yeah,
60, 80, whatever it was, right? But what I'm saying is, this was all bogus, because why would you have 150 jets just to rescue one person? Usually the rescue mission is a secret in and out. Nobody knows about it. I don't know. It's not so fishy.
Yeah, that I'm not. That I'm not buying. That because rescue missions can be quite expensive. Because remember, the Iran was looking for him too. So there was a whole deception campaign that they mounted to make it look like they were looking in one area when they were actually looking in another area, and there was a misdirect there that they did. So
150 jets to go there just to rescue one pilot. That wasn't fishy.
No, not at all, Amir. Because look, Amir, if Iran had found him first,
Iran did find him. The besieged forces did find him. I actually received a video. But guess what happened? On the ground, there was a fire exchange. And Trump is not telling us there was exchange of fire. Even the Iranian side is not telling us this. There were some videos that were released on Telegram.
Yeah. But if they had captured him and secured, if Iran had captured him and secured him, the political PR, it would have been a PR night. So that's why. And now, again, Iran holding an American hostage again, it would be, and then the left would be saying, oh, this is the Iranian hostage crisis again. Trump led us into this. So, that it wasn't going to happen. That's why they did.
Iran is good at grabbing hostages.
Exactly. Oh. That's why I completely. If it was 100 jets or 100, whatever it was, they were going to get that guy back. There was no question. And then if they had beheaded him or something, they would have taken him.
I don't think they look. In my opinion, I think they would have used him as a bargaining chip.
You know what? I think you're right.
They just want the deal, Alan. You see what I'm saying? The Iranians, they just want the deal. They want America to just But the problem with Americans is they just don't want to accept the deal. The American regime that we have, it just, I don't know what the deal is. Israel can have nuclear weapon, right? But then at the same time, Iran cannot have it, even though Israel actually did threaten in 1973 during the Yom Kippur War to ban Egypt.
Well, look. Let me ask you this, and then, and then you're making my brain work, which is a very bad thing. I try to avoid that as much as possible. You know, that's why I like watching Married with Children. I can just veg out and watch him be tortured.
What, you watch Married with Children? That's an old show. Classic.
Oh, every married man should watch that. And every man who isn't married should watch it so they know what they're getting into. It is the most accurate representation of marriage on the planet. Peg says, he comes home and Peg says, Al, did you miss me? And he says, with every shotgun blast so far, honey. So, okay. So first I'm in a room. The first I heard, after the ceasefire, first I heard, well, Israel bombed Lebanon and they killed 100, however, 30 people, whatever it was. And I'm thinking, fuck, okay, there they go again. Then I hear from in another room, well, Iran, then I heard in another room that they said, well, they were trying to do a coup in Lebanon, and so that's why Israel bombed them to kill them, right? And I thought, okay, fine. But then I heard, and I kept going on the internet, the fact that, first of all, saying that the first thing, as it finally came out, that someone said, well, they bombed us and that the IRGC bombed Israel with cluster bombs, et cetera, et cetera. All the other stuff I couldn't verify. According to what I looked up, there was no coup attempt in Lebanon. So I thought, okay, Israel is full of shit. They just took advantage of it. But then I heard that the IRGC used the cluster bombs, et cetera, in Israel a few hours after the ceasefire was announced, and that was true. Okay? My comment, and this is what really pissed off Daniel in the other room, was I said, look, a ceasefire means both sides stop firing weapons. And even if the IRGC did shoot missiles into Israel, that means you don't get to retaliate. And that's when I brought up that we're the big brother, you got to do what we say. Now, that's what I know. Do you know something different about that order? I'm sorry that took so long. But as far as I understand it, we declared the ceasefire. We said, okay, we got a ceasefire at the last moment. Then a few hours later, IRGC bombs Israel. And then a few hours after that, Israel bombs Lebanon. Is that incorrect, or is there something else going on?
No, it sounds like correct, but what I'm saying is this entity is known to violate ceasefire, and that's the problem we have. How do you control it? I don't think Trump can control it, because if Trump tries to control it, I believe, in my opinion, there's a chance of him getting, I'm outside, so I don't want to say much.
Oh, okay. As in, bye-bye Trump.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and you know what? That I don't think that's unreasonable. There's a former CIA guy. He was the one who like revealed that the government was using waterboarding, etc., etc. John Krakauer something like that. And there's a bunch of interviews of him on YouTube, and he said, nobody in the CIA, everyone in the CIA talks about how whenever they interact with Mossad, it's always unpleasant. That it's just, that Mossad is not America's ally.
They're not allowed to come into the CIA building, right? I saw that video, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, they portray themselves, look, Amir, here's the thing. That's why I said America's like the big brother. I don't think the IRGC and Israel are ever going to get along. And I understand Iran's position that if Israel has nuclear weapons, we should have nuclear weapons too. I understand that.
They never even said that, bro.
So no, it's not Iran's position, by the way. And I was saying this in my own opinion. But Iranian scholars, the people that running the show in Iran, they pass a fatwa. Fatwa is like a scholarly opinion or ruling, Islamic ruling that they're against the nuclear bomb because just like we have international law that protects all the civilians. So from the Islamic paradigm, we have rules of engagement. Which means you can't kill innocent civilians, women, children. You can't kill rabbis, priests. So there's a lot of these, things in there. That's why they're like, if we do have a nuke, that's going to end up killing a lot of civilians, which actually goes against Islam.
Yeah. Well, look. I think. Look. For right now, this is where I'm at, and this is where we're all at. For right now, we have a ceasefire. Trump is now going to take control of the Strait of Hormuz, and their tankers are going to the Gulf of America to get oil, and we'll see. In the end, if everybody stops fighting, that will be good.
Wait, I mean, Alan, how do you think Trump is going to take over the streets?
Well, they've already sent 2 cruisers up the strait, and I forget how far up they went. They turned around and they came back.
They were warned to get out of Strait of Hormuz.
But I mean, that doesn't answer the question. Like, what do you think
through military means.
But they keep their carriers 1,000 kilometers off the coast of Iran.
Yeah.
So if they're too scared to get close, how are they going to open it?
With other ships. The carriers aren't the only military ships they have in that region. And how are they going to do it?
Rio, you heard about
they'll figure it out.
Starmer and a whole bunch of these other people that connected to NATO. But they said that we are looking into militarily as well.
Yeah, I heard NATO is trying to cook something up to open the streets.
Yeah, but if they do open it, my whole thing is, let's say America takes like warships over there, 5, 6 warships, whatever. We know that Iran had attacked Abraham Lincoln carrier, right? And then they've attacked another Gerald Ford. That's another carrier ship. It was caught on fire. We have pictures and stuff, right? Now, if there's cases like this, who's to say they're not able to bomb the other 5 ships? And these ships are pretty expensive.
It's not even about the ships. It's like it's the cargo. Like, how are they gonna get the cargo through without having Iran hit the cargo ships?
No, but it's not cargo. America wants to do a blockade. No, America wants to do a blockade.
You're talking about the blockade now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different story.
Well, that's the point with Iran. With Iran threatening any ships that go through, America will be guaranteed. The point is, they will.
Alan, it's not like they're saying that they're not going to allow Iranian ships to pretty much leave the straits or whatever, do their thing. So I don't even get that. That's like counterintuitive. The whole point was to like open up the Straits of Hormuz.
Yes. So America's. So America, what he's saying is he is going, essentially, as I see it, is securing safe passage for the cargo ships through the Strait of Hormuz.
But they can't do that.
Why can't they do that?
Alan, that would violate. So I mean, look, Iran is violating international law, but America would violate international law as well by putting a blockade, because that's where they get majority of stuff for the people that live on that land.
Yeah, but Trump calls it a blockade. What he's going to do is he's going to do to Iran what Iran wants to do to America.
So do you think that the U.S. would fire at Chinese or Russian ships?
No, you mean military ships or cargo ships?
Cargo or oil?
No, he said he's going to let everyone through.
No, he's doing a blockade.
Yes, I said he called it a blockade.
Of the Iranian ones.
Yes, but what he has said, he called. See, you're taking Trump literally in a case in which he doesn't mean it literally. He said, Iran said we're blocking, or Iran has implemented a blockade on the strait. So Trump responds and says, well, we're going to do a blockade. But he has also said in one of his, it was either X or Truth Social, he said, we are going to let everybody through. All ships will be allowed to pass. Now, he may block Iran's ships, but as far as China and Russia and he's called out Russia as well. I mean, China as well. He said ships from Europe and China, everywhere, they'll all go through. So what I interpret that as is that he is going to use the U.S. military to ensure, and Navy to ensure safe passage for those cargo ships. And we can all be sure that Iran is going to try and not allow that.
Those cargo ships, they're already safe. The Chinese and the Russians.
Of course they are, but what about the rest of them?
You mean the countries that are hostile to Iran? Those are not safe.
So there you go. So since Iran is playing that game, Trump has now engaged them in that particular skirmish.
I looked into the sea mines. I looked into the sea mine sweepers. Do you know how long it takes to clean up like 1,000 sea mines?
It takes exactly 36 hours, 24 minutes, and 17 seconds. Thank you.
So the sea mines, I looked into it. It takes about an hour to 2 hours, I believe, or about 3 hours, depends on the sea mine. You know, how long would it take? For each one. So let's say they got about 1,000 of these, okay? And they got 1,000 of these. It says it would take up to about 5-6 months 4 months to clean up all. So let's say Iran, let's say America is not allowing the Iranian ship to go through, but America wants the other ship to go through that are not allowed in the Strait of Hormuz by Iran, which are connected to Israel and America. Well, all they have to do is put about 1,000 sea mines in the water, and it will take about 5 months for America to sweep all these up.
Yeah, but do they have the ships to do that?
America, I don't think has the sea mine sweepers, but I think Europe has.
Yeah, but does Iran have the ships to place those mines?
Yeah, they do. They've placed it before.
Yeah, well, look. We're all trying to predict the future here right now. The point is, and I think we all recognize, this is where the next battle is. Okay? It's now, we've got a ceasefire. He's not bombing the targets inside the country. And now it's okay. Iran said, well, we're gonna take control. We'll let Russia and China through, but the rest of you're screwed. So this is the next battle. Let's see. Let's come